What's good, y'all? It's LD here with Clear the Air with another episode. This time I got a legend. I got Don Cannon. So how you feeling?
Am I a legend or am I a GOAT?
You probably the GOAT.
Nah.
I'm going to give you the GOAT.
Nah, I appreciate it. I'll take the legend. I ain't the GOAT.
Who the GOAT?
It ain't me. I fit the description, but it ain't me.
I ain't gonna lie, you're the GOAT of this generation. I would say that.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
All right, I bet. All right, cool. So let's take it back to like when you first started. Where'd you grow up from? Where you from and all that?
I'm growing up from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
To be exact, West Philadelphia. Born and raised. I just had a fun time growing up, being around family members that knew about music. A lot of people don't get that chance to do that at a very early age. So I got into that space super early.
Yeah.
With music. My first turntable I got at 3 years old. My first record I bought at 6 years old. I started DJing at 6 years old. I started rapping at 9 years old, making beats at 11 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was already in it, so I had a fun time growing up. And then when I got to high school, I started taking it real serious, playing basketball plus doing music.
Yeah.
And pretty much, I was doing mixtapes until I got to college in Clark, Atlanta. And I met Drum, and then we made history with the mixtapes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I bet. So you say you was rapping. You got like a song?
Yeah, my mom got all my demos actually. So my uncle had a studio, and I
Yeah.
used to just go in there and play around till they was like, "Yo, you really can rap." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Nah." So she got them. We got videos. I did my own videos. You know what I mean? I made my own beats.
Yeah.
And I recorded myself. And I was in my uncle's studio. My uncle was a hustler, so he had a studio. I used to go in his joint. He had a jazz artist that was really popular in Philly named Monette Sellers. I used to always go to his joint and just rock out.
Yeah, that's fire. When the last time you recorded a song?
As a rapper?
Yeah.
Shit, 13. I mean, if you gonna say like references, like I do references on beats for rappers to get how the flow's supposed to, but I don't rap. Man, that's a rap.
Yeah, okay,
That's
sure.
a rap.
All right, bet. So let's take it to the basketball side of things in Philly. Were you always a big man or were you a guard a little bit?
I was a guard all the way up. So you gotta think about it. In Philly, everybody was already big. So if you think about, let me see, I was 11. The first person that we thought was a guy was Rasheed Wallace. He was a 6'11". You know what I'm saying?
13.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he was already like, these guys in high school were already giants, 6'8". I ain't get to 6'5" till about 12th grade year.
Yeah.
But I was always like short, and, just was the guard. So I played shooting guard. I never played point, but I played swing guard, which was like shooting and
yeah.
So I used to do power forward sometimes because I would like box people out.
Yeah.
But I think when I played too many ticks, like if I did too many minutes, it was always like small forward. You know what I mean? Instead of like the shooting guard, because that take a lot of shooting.
Take a lot. Yeah.
Being, in high school, they run a lot of traps, full court traps, all them joints. So you be tired. So you know what I'm saying? You can't run that position unless you like can run up the floor. And I was kind of lazy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really,
I was lazy with it.
Who was the best player you played against?
1-on-1, Rasul Butler.
He had a nice jump shot.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
that was my guy. I grew up with him. I grew up with this dude named Jimmy Benz, rest in peace. He was super dope. Rasheem, Rasul, Eddie Curry.
Yeah.
I played against Jameer Nelson. He didn't play, but I didn't come up with him. DeJuan Wagner.
He was nice.
Wagner, yeah. Lynn Greer, which is super crazy. So all these guys, Kobe later on, I played against him.
Yeah.
His dad used to coach us. So, yeah, all those people, like, but the toughest guy was probably Rasul Butler because he was already 6'7". You know what I mean? Moves was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's tough to guard that.
And then people don't notice, like, when, professional basketball is about being able to turn a light switch on and off. So what I mean by that is, like, when you in professional, when you playing against your friends, and you can look at them as an enemy or somebody you never met in your life and still do it, like that's a professional thing. In high school, you be friends with people, so you already got this in your brain, like, damn, I can't foul him too hard. That's really my man. You know what I'm saying? Or I can't shoot if I dunk on him, like, he gonna be mad this week when we go to school. So, Like, that don't happen in professional basketball. Like, LeBron be going at his best friends, and then after it, they go get a drink. At high school, we be mad at each other for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with him. He tried to dunk on him. You know what I mean? So a lot of that was going on in high school. So that was another reason why if I'm playing Rasul and he go around me, it was more or less like he ain't about to go around me, but you can't foul him. Like, it's my man. You know what I mean? We hang out after that. He might not speak to me. So that's the tough part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So you got dunked on yourself personally?
Never got dunked on.
Okay, cool.
Never.
You dunked on somebody before?
I never dunked on nobody. I always dunked breakaways. I never really dunked like coming through the lane.
Yeah.
I got a steal, or we was in like a 1-3-1 type of vibe, and I caught it, and somebody forgot to foul me, and I just
disappeared. Yeah. Okay, that's valid. All right, bet. So coming to Clark, Atlanta, you was on the basketball team. So what was that experience like, just being a college athlete?
I didn't even make it. So when I got down here, I tried out. I played like the first couple scrimmages, and it was over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because by then, so when you're in college, you start seeing the things around. Like, if you ain't really focused on that, like, my thing was always to come here, get on the team, and transfer to a bigger school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once I found out that your transfers was either Georgia State, Morehouse, or something in that nature, it was like, damn. At that time, I didn't believe that anybody could go to the league from Georgia State. Georgia Tech was too hard to get on the team.
Yeah.
Morehouse was like already really going to the league from Morehouse, so I was just kind of like stuck, like, damn, what's the difference? Like, if I get on the team, I want to just play for 4 years and try to get a scholarship, and, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to rock with the music and just, you know, keep going. So I did that just out of like, I know I was dead end going to Clark.
Yeah, for sure.
Once I got out here and started doing music and started meeting people that I knew I was going to know for my lifetime, I just was like, fuck it, I'll just, you know, rock out with the music.
For sure. So when you really started getting into the music, what was like one of your very first experiences that you remember and like you still never forget?
So college, my freshman year, I was in a group called Infinite Stars, some funny shit. And that first semester when I was doing music, I learned how to be in a group. It was a girl in the group. We was really the Fugees. I was just the DJ version of it. It was a girl in the group, and a dude. I think the dude and the girl dated. You know what I'm saying? And I was like the producer DJ. And I think that first semester was kind of like all my learning experience. Somebody from Boston, somebody from Philly, somebody from Atlanta. We all just kind of like figuring it out. Second semester, I started like fuck with this dude named Noel, and he was like a New York rapper, but he was like on some Jadakiss shit. Him, Risque was another his friend, and this dude named Tommy. I just always produce all they shit, and that was my first real experience. And then when I went home, I got back in the hood with the homies, and they was like, "I'm gonna buy your equipment, just do my album." They were street niggas. And shot the album. He probably watching, but he was the one to buy me all the equipment. Like, yo, put that in your crib. We just gonna rock out, and I just, you know.
For
we
sure.
just rocked out. He like did like maybe 45 songs that summer. Like the first summer out of
you
know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So y'all was in the studio like a lot during that time.
Well, we didn't even have no studio, so I had a 4-track and I put it in my dorm room, and that's how we record with the group. And then Alton bought me the equipment for my apartment, and we just rocked out in the apartment.
Okay, so you were doing your own mixes and stuff too?
Oh yeah, I did everything.
Okay.
I was Dr. Dre. I did the mixes, the beats. All they had to do was come in and rap and leave. Like anybody that knew me from that period, they knew they could rap, leave, and go to the party. When they came back, shit was done.
The song was ready. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So you were also doing DJs at parties, right? Like,
yeah, I did all the parties in Atlanta. I started freshman out. I would say one of the most sought after young DJs in Clark. And very early, like people don't get this opportunity, but very early, I was in the club. I was 18 DJing at some of the biggest parties in Atlanta.
Yeah,
you know
that's right.
I was just the youngest in charge at the time, so I wound up just following that lead. You know, my biggest mistake is going home after freshman year the whole summer, but it's a gift and a curse. So I met Alton, which was good for me to learn, you know, how to produce a solo artist. Yeah. But I left out of there when I came back that second year. I was like, damn, I should have just stayed down here. I would have been doing all the clubs. I'd have been running them. So that second year, I just ran the whole clubs. I ran everything. You know what I'm saying? Drum was taking me to his gigs. I was opening up for him. But I ran that whole shit. Yeah, I feel like if I'd have stayed, I'd probably been way further, but it worked out.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So was Drum, did you meet Drum like on campus or y'all met somewhere else?
So my friend Jabari went to school with him, and was like, yo, when you go down Atlanta, you got to meet Drum. I was like, who's that? He was like, yo, this dude, he got everybody already. He rocking with Bahamadia, The Roots, everybody. He already lit. He been down there. He got mixtapes going, this, that, and the third. So I was like, all right, cool. When I get down there, I finally ran into him, and he was everything Jabari said he was. He was out there selling mixtapes. Everybody was all, yo, DJ Drama. They was like all in his face, like, you know what I'm saying? And I finally walked up to him, and I had beats. I walked up to him like, yo, what's up? I'm Cannon. I got some, I'm sorry. My name was Donnie Brasco at the time.
Where'd that come from?
The movie Donnie Brasco?
Yeah.
So I just thought it had a ring to it. Once I found out he was a cop, I just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But I wound up telling him I got beats. He was like, yeah, young boy, get out of here. He hates when I tell this story.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, young boy, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I wound up giving him the beats anyway. He called me like a couple of days later, like, yo, these beats is crazy. Come to the crib. I got everybody working. So he be working with everybody. Tyler would go to his crib. He had Binkus Records. They was hot at the time. Anybody you could think of was just fucking with DJ Drama. He was the hub. He was who you went to record, everything. So when I gave him the beats, I just started coming to the crib, making beats at his crib. And you know, it was a time where around 9/11 when I was homeless, I was telling my mom I was going to school, but I really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I was homeless. And Drum let me stay in his crib. I stay on the couch and shit until I got my paper up to get an apartment.
Yeah, that's real.
So that was pivotal. But that's how it was pivotal. That's why I met him. I met him at campus. Like, they was the older guys.
Yeah, okay. That's valid. All right, cool. So now that y'all started gym now together, let's put it in perspective of a pro team. If y'all was like a pro team, who would you compare it to? Like a championship team. This can be any championship team.
The 72-10 Bulls.
Okay.
And you know, I can name a couple teams. We the Golden State Warriors at that time. We were Magic Johnson and Kareem. Yeah. The reason why I say that is because we took something that people didn't believe in and made it a championship dynasty. Right. You know what I mean? When we had Vert, they were saying that he wasn't going to be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We had Jack, they said it was going to be nothing. Drum's albums, like every mixtape we was bringing to people, they said it wasn't going to be nothing. Like, you know, I can't say they laughed at us when we did Jeezy, but I can also say that we was from up top breaking Southern acts. They didn't necessarily think we could do it, and we did it. So I feel like we did that and won championships, and we never lost. You know what I'm saying? I think we put something else, and then we lost it. You know what I mean? So that's what I would compare it to in the basketball world.
Okay, yeah, that's valid.
Or the Fab Five in college.
What's your favorite team out of all of them? Like
pro teams?
Yeah.
So my favorite pro team is the Lakers, of course.
Okay.
I'll give you a little story. I was a Charles Barkley fan. I wasn't a Jordan fan back in the day. And when Charles Barkley got traded in his prime to Phoenix from the Sixers, I was no longer a Sixers fan.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I hated it. And then I was like, you know, knowing Kobe in high school and his father and all that, I was like, wherever he get drafted to, I'm going to go with that too. Yeah. So when he got drafted to the Lakers, I just stayed there. It was in 96 too. And I had opportunities to like Allen Iverson because that's my man. But I just didn't fuck with the Sixers because you gotta understand, like, 12 years old and you really a fan or you idolize somebody and they send them to another spot, you be hot. That's sickening. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, a lot of kids now they grow up player oriented. Wherever the player goes, that's their team. Yeah. I wasn't like that. I liked the Sixers, but I liked them because Charles Barkley was the shit. And then when we couldn't get it, it was over. Yeah. I was like, damn, dog, y'all gonna trade. And then we went and got Sean Bradley. I was hot.
That's a
I was like, we got Sean Bradley, my nigga? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I was pissed. So I moved to the Lakers. College team. Of course, everybody liked Michigan.
Gotta like Michigan.
Yeah, everybody liked Michigan. Yeah. I loved UNLV when it was the hot team.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Penn State. I used to love Penn State.
Football or just the whole?
I like all of them, but football was the football was it. But Penn State was just something we rock with. The colors was fire. Yeah. It was the Nittany Lions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So you talked about Kobe. Did you know he was gonna be a pro when you met him?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in high school he wasn't the best player. In his college days at Lower Marion, in his high school at Lower Marion, he was the shit. But when he would come to the city, he'd have tough times. Like if you go back and look at his old interviews, and they ask him who's the best, the worst defender in the life, like who you played against, who defended you the best, he could have said KG, the glove. He went back in college, back in high school, and named Donnie Carr, which was one of the guys that played on my squad. Mm-hmm. Out of everybody in his life, he named somebody from high school, and that just tells you how tough it was in Philly to play basketball at that time. Bro. Yeah. It was just the dogs that we had in high school, bro. Like, he was not outshining sometimes. I remember telling stories of seeing him go to the sideline and crying on the bench, but that gave him the fuel to work harder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to go to St. Joe's University at 16 years old, and I used to see him in there shooting 2,000 jump shots. He just had a private court just because, Maurice Cheeks, friend of his dad's, and, he got the court. But we was in the AAU side, but I would just sneak in the side to see who was over there. Every once in a while, you see somebody from Temple or St. Joe's, but he would always be in there just shooting 2,000 jump shots. And I still didn't believe he was going to the league. I still was like, bro, I seen him playing a game with these guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I don't know, bro. But when he went to the pros and I started following him, I was very happy because it was parallel to me. Mm-hmm. How hard he used to work and how he used to look at it. He knew he was downplayed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when he got to a certain point, and it was like, oh shit, he won a championship. I remember his first championship they won. I was crying, bro. As a grown man, I was just crying because I was like, bro, that's me. I actually, in parallel to music, I wanted it so bad, and I was like, damn, he actually did it against all odds. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's when I didn't know in high school that he was gonna go to the league. He had conversations because it was Lower Marion, but Lower Marion was like, that was the easy league. Catholic, you know what I'm saying, private school type shit. And I always just think people that was in our public league shit was going to the pros. Even like Sewell Butler, I grew up with him since I was 8 years old, rest in peace. He actually was the first person I was like, he going pro. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he went to a Catholic school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. It's like a lot of the people that we thought were in the Catholic schools, we didn't think they was going to pro. But he was one of them, and Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry went pro. You know what I'm saying? Rest of them, like Jameer Nelson, fucking all them that I named, all them guys was public school guys. You know what I'm saying? They would come tear the league up. You know what I'm saying?
Was crazy. I used to watch his game
he was crazy. Like even DeJuan would put up 63 against us. You know what I'm saying? Some shit, some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we had some tough ass players, bro. Like some tough players, bro. I'm not even naming them all. Like we had Flip Murray.
I remember him.
Flip Murray was crazy. Bunch of dudes, bro. They was just nasty, and they overshadowed, in my opinion, in the city, Kobe. Like they was talking about Kobe, but like to hear Flip Murray's name, to hear Sewell Butler's name, which was a little later, but to hear these guys name, Rasheed Brookenborough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel the information. Like think about Rasheed Wallace when I was mentioning him, right? I was 11. Think about the world. Rasheed Wallace was everything. That nigga went to the McDonald's All-American game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In high school. And we was like, oh shit, we didn't think nobody from Philly could be in that shit. Yeah. And he was there. He'd come in the gym. It was like the Giant. Everybody just walking. It was just Sheed Wallace, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just felt like I hadn't seen that with Kobe. I didn't feel the energy I felt when they was talking about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Now Rasheed is definitely like one of my heroes just because I'm from Detroit and he won us that championship.
Real good dude too, man. I wound up talking with him a lot later in the career. It's my man.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, for sure. So now with just different artists, do you see a lot of what similarities do you see in athletes that artists have and like athletes that similarities?
Some of them had the resilience that athletes have, but they don't have the habits, like the good eating habits. You know what I'm saying? The exercise. That's what we don't have. We got the late night. Athletes go to bed and wake up 4 a.m. and go to practice. We don't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But those are some of the similar things in comparison to work regimen. Yeah, it's a lot of them like that. Like I always compare Jay to like LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, and some of them guys like that. But as far as like work ethic, it takes a certain amount of work to be an athlete, bro. For
sure.
sure, bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is there any athletes that ever hit you up trying to make a song or get a beat?
Yeah. I worked with a lot of people. I worked with Dame Lillard. I worked with Lou Will, Ron Artest.
Yeah.
Who else? Tons, bro. Like tons.
Who the best?
Carmelo. Who's the best rapper? So Miles Walker is fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dame Lillard is a good rapper. Growing up, I thought Shaq was the best rapper.
You think it was just what he was saying, or was it the beats that was carrying him?
The beats and what he was saying.
Yeah.
I just felt like a basketball player shouldn't be that good at rapping. You know what I'm saying? But he was good. You know what I'm saying? And he made the best songs out of him. He was the only person I felt like was very successful in both sides. Like he had a platinum album. You know what I'm saying? It was both.
Damn, that's crazy.
He was in movies, platinum album. He had a song with Biggie. Like I don't even know if the new guys that's rapping had those songs. But you don't know, like back then we had some joint called what was this? We had Jason Kidd was rapping on it. Cedric Sabalas.
Hey,
I forget
Kid
the
rapping?
name of. Yeah, it was
crazy.
called. It was a basketball soundtrack. But
Yeah.
all the rappers, all the basketball players that rap was rapping on them.
Yeah.
But that's what we had, and I just feel like naturally growing up playing basketball, we always rap. They always rap. Even Kobe. Kobe had 5 records. Yeah, record with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Tyra Banks. Allen Iverson had songs with Nas and Beanie Siegel and all that. Like, people was rapping, but I felt like the best fluid rapper was probably like Dame Lillard and Shaq. Like,
Yeah.
Damian Lillard.
That makes sense. Dame, I give Dame that. Maybe Jello, but
Jello's good. Jello's good, but like when I say pure rapper,
Yeah.
like if you listen to like Dame, like he really be rapping.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He got albums on.
Jello got like the hits. He like the more hit-driven commercial guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, for sure. All right, so now let's take it to the rapper side. Who is the best rapper that hoops that you think?
It's a couple of them. Game's a hooper. I hate calling Breezy a rapper,
Yeah.
but he has those accents. Breezy's probably the best basketball player I've seen play. That's
Really?
in music. Young Buck was dope.
Was their game like athletic or were they just
Athletic.
okay.
Athletic. All athletic. It's a lot of them. Cole, J. Cole. Who else can hoop? That's a lot of frauds. I give Quavo the benefit of the doubt because he's the person that takes it more serious.
Yeah.
So I fuck with him on that type time.
Quavo too slow though. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I never played against him, but I just watch. He has like basketball antics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with that. But it's a lot of them, like, 2 Chainz, like, if he, we always talk about this. We both had like bone marrow type of shit going on with our feet, like bone spurs from playing ball. I think he still be hooping now because he's that good. Like, he got a good shot and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Chainz, shit, I don't know. Who else is out there? Do you think? Who?
That's hooping. I mean, Dirk had a little jump shot.
Dirk is decent.
He was alright.
Dirk is decent.
Skilla, I hooped against Skilla coming up.
Skilla,
baby.
Oh, word?
Yeah, like we were at this junior college called Wayne County, and it was like an open gym. You know how they had open gyms in the summer.
Yeah.
But like we was in there getting recruited, and then once Skilla just came in, it was like playing. And this was probably like a year before he blew up. Like he had just started hanging with Sada Baby, and so everybody like, oh, is that him? And like he was getting buzz around the city, but his game, he just came in to foul. He ain't really do much. Like, and maybe that's just. Like he's not really a hooper, so of course I'm gonna look at you like I'm gonna go at you. So
and then there's a lot of people that can actually play but can't play, if you know what I mean. Like, they don't have the skill like that, but will make buckets.
They got the intangibles to
they just got buckets. And then there's also football players that hoop good, like Terrell Owens was a good ass hooper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking a lot of motherfuckers just good at hoops. But don't be they thing. So like as far as rappers, I say those handful. Like, but if I had to give somebody the crown in music, and I might be missing some people, but the person I seen hoop the most. All right, so if we gonna name that, I'll name Scooter Braun, which is one of my homies.
Yeah,
he hoop his ass off too. He hoop. Little Dicky can hoop.
I seen him hoop. Yeah, he nice.
East can hoop.
He nice.
East could hoop. But yeah, Scooter, fire. But the person with like that we would like if they was in the league would be Chris Brown. Like,
Yeah.
think about it. Like Holmes got the, he got the yoke. You know what I'm saying? I seen this shit one time. Yo, hopefully he see this shit. It was funny. This motherfucker did like, I think it was like Adidas something. It was some type of shit. He had on a fucking Union one. He had the Union Jordan 1s, white joints for the European. Nigga had him. He hooping in them outside. This nigga down the court did like one of them, just, you know what I'm saying, and then shot a three. And when that motherfucker almost went in the net, this nigga did a backflip on the court. Nigga, I said, oh, this nigga different. This nigga different. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he had like 10 in the first half, and then they did like a little break, and they had like the people come on the court and do their dance and shit. Yeah. The nigga out there started dancing with the people. I said, oh, this nigga crazy, bro.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That nigga hoop, bro.
So, is he the most athletic person in the music industry, you think?
Yeah, and it's crazy because I call him a super nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, certain people that can do everything.
Yeah.
Like Uzi to me can do everything. He rap, sing, he can make beats if he want. He dance good. He skateboard. He fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? He do everything. Like think about like Chris Brown. He rap, sing, graffiti, fucking draw shit, make clothes, hoop. Probably can play football. You know what I'm saying? No kung fu. Probably kick you in your face. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of them. So I just think like Game is a pure hooper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cole is a pure hooper. You know what I mean? These guys got basic fire games. You know what I mean? But you know how we love Kyrie?
Yeah.
That would be like Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
And then how we like KG and them would be like J. Cole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll give you a bucket. If we on the court, I'm picking them.
Yeah.
If I can't get anybody, I'm going to get J. Cole because I know he's going to give me a bucket.
Yeah, for sure. All right, bet. There's a time in the studio where artists made a hit and y'all knew it was a hit, like right then and there.
It's hard to call because normally when we call those, they don't be hits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The ones that we don't know going to be hits, they sneak up and be hits.
What was one of those?
XO Tour Life.
Really?
We loved the song, but we just put it out in a manner that it wasn't set up properly. He went on tour with Weekend. We put it on SoundCloud, and it just...
I remember that, John.
You know what I mean? I might be lying a little bit with what's popping. We all knew that was going to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a bunch of records where we kind of called and they won, but I'm just saying, like, to exceed what we thought it was going to. Like, that shit, like, XO Tour Life sold 14 million by itself. Like, we knew the song was fire, but I can't necessarily, like, yo, this is it. This is one. This is out of here.
Yeah.
We just was like, yeah, that's fire. But at that time, we was making a lot of records, too. So it's like, there's a lot of joints that's like that we could never call. Like, I could never call none of the Jeezy records we did. I knew they was all fire, but you can't call them. Like, I don't think we call any records. We call artists better than we call records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be like, oh, he about to be one. You know what I'm saying?
What's something that y'all see within an artist?
The conviction of how they see their career, how far they want to go.
Yeah.
It's all based on your discipline and what you want to do. And when we see that automatically, I know they're going to win because that's just the law of life. No matter what happens, you're going to win if you put in that type of discipline and work. You know, some people be like, you work hard, and do your 10,000 hours. I'm like, discipline, bro. Because you can work hard but don't have the discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of these artists, you can see it in their eyes what they want to do and how far they want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. All right, that's valid. How do producers shape a generation? You know, the artist is always the beginning recognition, but producers definitely need more. So
we shape the sound. We're the landscape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to answer your questions, I mean, the producer there's no artist without a producer. I mean, nobody wants to sit here and listen to acapella raps and acapella songs for the rest of their life. Maybe here and there. But the actual music is what makes it, what it is.
Yeah. What is the best beat you made in the 2000s, 2010s, and then 2020s?
All right, the best beat I made in the 2000s was Cannon remix.
Okay.
The 2010s, I think the best beat I made is a toss up. I want to say Numbers on the Boards versus Money Longer.
Okay. Yeah.
In the 20s, it's tough because I got so many records that I love from the 20s, but it's a tough one. The 2020s is kind of like it's a tough period, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but let me just pick one. I would just say it's going to be it's a toss up. It could be Kai Cash, What You Want, because I was happy about that beat,
Yeah.
and then the Eminem joint, Evil, that I did.
Oh yeah, that one was crazy.
Yeah. So those two, those are good records. I love the Killer Mike records. That's why I didn't want to name like the two Killer Mike joints I did.
Yeah.
I love the Lecrae joint I did with Lyle. I love some of the shit that was on the Pink tape because I felt like it was misunderstood. That Uzi put out. I love the Conway shit. The shit I did with Luda, him, and JID was incredible. But probably the Evil Eminem joint was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. Well, I bet. That's pretty much it for the episode. So appreciate you coming through. Clear the air.
Yeah, clear the air, baby.
Yes, sir.